Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another home studio trainer show. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. All right, so what we're going to take a look at here is the Studio One remote. Now, I don't remember exactly when it was updated. It was recent though, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look at the at where to download it and everything. Now, some people are reporting issues with the Studio One remote, and so far I haven't experienced any. So I was going to go ahead and go through logging it in and setting it up and everything. All right, so let's see. Before we get started, if you guys could, please like and subscribe to my channel and become a member if you want to help support the channel so that I can keep things going. You can also go into the description and become a Patreon member if you don't want to use the YouTube membership part. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate it. All right, so here we are in the classroom. And as you can see here, I have this little app that lets me show my iPad. It's called Reflector. So this gives me the ability to show my iPad. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be touching the iPad and kind of scrolling across so that you guys can see everything that I have for this particular song. And let's make sure the controls all work.
I know I've done wrong and I try to cope, but I was the fool.
There we go.
Something inside my head.
All right, so it's cool. So if I actually pinch the timeline, I can make it smaller, or I can make it larger and stretch it out a little bit. I have access to all of the inserts on all of my channels, all of my sends, which I have none on this song, and Q mixes, which I also don't have any. All right, so now I can also see the inputs, which I don't have any. All right, there we go. There we go. There are the inputs. Let me see if I got channel 1 on here. No, I don't. All right, and all of the outputs, and I've only got the main output, and I can actually control that. You can actually see that I am, hold on, let me see. Let me do this here. Let me open up the browser here and move this over. There we go. So you can see I'm actually moving the fader on the iPad, and the main out is moving. And the same goes in reverse. There we go. All right, so I have access to all of this stuff. I can go back to the faders, channels, and then I also have access to the lyrics. If I had any lyrics in here, I'll pull up a song a little bit later, and I'll show you how the lyric track looks. There's the faders, and then this is the part that I love, is all of my macros and shortcuts are all programmable up in here. You can see up in here, you can see I'm on events right now, and then I can go to edit options, and let's see some of my audio options, just like that. So you can create crossfades. I can create auto crossfades. Excuse me. Or auto fades. I can do all of that here within the macro group, which is this button right here. And then here is my faders and then the lyric track. I'll see if I can pull one of those songs up. Let's actually go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to shrink this guy down here. So let me go to the start page. And let's see. I believe it's this one. This is the one that I have with lyrics. We shall see. It's opening everything up. There you go. Yes. Okay, so you have lyrics right there. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So now in the iPad, if I go ahead and I click on the lyrics, now this is cool. Watch this. So I'm going to actually start here, and I want you to see that the lyrics will light up as we go by.
As I sit here waiting for the punishment that I face.
You know what?
Too many times I feel nothing, and it puts me in.
I don't like that blue. I can barely see it. See, can I actually click? I tried to click with the mouse. Alignment left, font size. It doesn't really say that I can change the color. How can I change the color? That might be something I might have to take a look at. So anyway, so once it gets past a certain section in the lyrics,
Gotta take
you can see that it grays out the lyrics that have already gone past, and it illuminates the ones that are current, and it shows the ones that are coming in white. Just like that.
I'll try to make it alright.
And now it should change. There you go.
Know what to say.
So now this is really, really nice. If you have a vocal booth, or if you're like a lot of us and you have a closet that you've kind of soundproofed to make believe it's a vocal booth, and you can just bring your iPad in there. Not only can you control Studio One, you can also just go ahead and flash back to the lyrics. You can go to the editors and you can actually do edits as things are going by. Now, it's not as easy as actually editing on the screen, but you can do all sorts of things by selecting certain events and tracks and things like that. All right, so let's see here. Let's see. So this is back home. All right, so this is the main screen that you see right here. This is the main screen. And when you open up Studio One, you have to make sure that the computer that is holding Studio One is on the same exact Wi-Fi or network as the iPad. And once you do that, it shows this. Now, I've heard some reports that people are getting errors. I'm not quite sure if that is maybe an iPad issue or your network issue if it's not loading, but you do have to make sure that both are on the exact same Wi-Fi network. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, so let's see. What else do I have here? Okay, so if you go into the App Store, you can actually see that the most current Studio One remote app is 1.7.1. You can see that right here. Just like that. And you would have to download it. Now, I'm actually a beta tester for the Studio One remote. So let's actually go into the App Store itself. And let's look up. Now, as far as this working on a tablet or on an iPhone, I know it doesn't work on the iPhone, but I'm pretty sure it works on a tablet. All right, so let's see. Let's do a search. And let's say Studio One. Wow. Studio One remote. And there it is, just like that. So if I click on this, let's see what it says as far as the version goes. There it goes. If you look down here, it says the current version is 1.7.1. So if you have to get it this way, this is how to do it. Just go to the App Store, type in Studio One Remote, and you can download it there. Now, I am planning on doing a more in-depth video on the Studio One Remote and how it works with Studio One. So, but this one is just kind of a review to let you know how to actually get it. So once you actually open up the app, if it is seeing your version of Studio One, it'll show up here. Now, if you have multiple machines on the network that are running Studio One, it will list those here as well. It'll list them all the way down, just like that. And then you can just go ahead and click on that, and boom, you have access to whatever your song is doing. You have access to your lyrics. You have access to all of your editing tools and things like that. Now, there a couple of folks have actually said there is another app, some sort of a dashboard that you can get, that you can load for actually getting to some of these features. I prefer the Studio One remote, and since I don't have any other ones, I can't show you, but you get the idea about all of the options that you have here. And then here's just a nice simple transport. Let me see if I can, there we go. There we go. There's the transport. So you have all of these options just at a touch. Just like that. So you can go ahead and keep that on that screen. You can go to the Studio One remote here where all the faders and the channels are. You can actually manipulate your mix. Go back and do some editing. You can go back and do some editing. You can actually access the other transport options, and you can go to the lyrics. So far, this is working pretty good for me. I've had no issues. So if you are having issues with the Studio One remote, make sure that you are on the same network with your iPad and with Studio One to be able to do that. Now, as far as how did I get this on my screen? All right, so the application is called Reflector. And once you have Reflector loaded, what you would do is, let me actually go back here. If you go to the top of the iPad and pull down, you've actually got this. You've got this selection of controls. You would actually click right here in order to link up to the Reflector app. Now, I know that there is an option on the Mac to actually do this directly, but it's always in full screen, and that doesn't help because if I'm trying to teach the Studio One remote, I can't have everything in full screen here. This gives me the ability to actually customize the size and to be able to go around and actually show that. So if you get Reflector, I think it's like $9. I don't think it's more expensive than that. At least it was when I bought it years ago. So chances are the price has gone up, but go ahead and check Reflector in the App Store. And then you can do this as well. Now, you wouldn't really need this because you can't control anything from this little app here. You have to do it on the iPad itself. So I hope that that makes sense. All right, that's going to pretty much do it for this particular video. I am putting together a video to show how to use all of the controls, how to do some very simple editing, and how to get through the lyric track, and hopefully show you guys how to change the color of the lyric track, because that really seems, let me go back here, that really seems, that blue, that's hard to read. It is really hard to read. All right, so that is it for me. I hope you guys got something out of this. Remember, if you could, like and subscribe to the channel. And I also want you guys to check out the description. I have a Friends of HST that I'm going to start building a list. I want you to visit Louie over there at Alps Media and get whatever PreSonus hardware that he offers. Now, he also does offer internet services, things like advertising and things like that. He is great at that, so please visit his site. Also visit Kevin's Guitar Stories. He does a live stream once a week, I think usually on Tuesdays. He might have changed that, but he does at least one every other week, and they are fantastic shows. He actually plays music, shows you how he uses his guitar rig and everything like that, so I definitely recommend you checking him out. All right, that's going to do it for me, folks. I will see you all in the next video.